Helene proved to be a dangerous storm.
North Carolina is cleaning up from the worst flooding ever on record for the state.
This is an unprecedented storm, and it's causing us to have an unprecedented response.
Hey, good morning. I'm Bill Faith, build short-term rental wealth, but I'm also a real estate investor and a father and a husband, just like you. It's just before sunrise on October, what is today, the 2nd, Wednesday, and Chris behind the camera, James, myself are just rolling. We're rolling through Johnson City right now, heading into the Banner Elk Boone area to check on my properties. We've got a truck bed full of water, damp rid, chainsaws. I think from what I've heard that my properties are going to be okay. I don't know that that's 100% yet, but I do know that there is a tremendous amount of damage in my neighborhood. So this is either going to be a trip to where we're going to my properties and cutting trees and putting in damp rid and checking for mold and damage and all that type of stuff, and that'll be part of it. But the second part of it is going to be really, making sure that our neighbors are okay and, the community. If you missed, a few days ago, Tyler Kuhn from Savvy Realty in Asheville and myself did a recovery Zoom that I would definitely check out. That's in my Build Short-Term Rental Wealth Facebook group. And it's really important that all of us are taking the right steps. One, to take care of our community first, take care of people that are distressed. There's still hundreds of people that are missing and stranded that have no water, have no food. My cleaner, as an example, lives on Beach Mountain, and she was just able to get off the mountain for the very first time yesterday. And we have about 20 gallons of water. We've got fuel for her generator. We have a bunch of stuff that these people need. And it's just, I think that we've got to do our job to make sure that we are taking care of these people. So I'm excited and really happy that Chris and James decided to join me, to come and help me. I couldn't have done what I need to do on my own, whether it's for my properties or for our community. So, stick with me and we'll kind of show you what we're doing and as we go through this process over the next 24 hours. Filling up in Johnson City, there's literally no place to get gas in Banner Elk right now. We've got, 15, 20 gallons, I think, in the back of the truck to take to my cleaner. She's on Beach Mountain. She was able to get off yesterday, as I said earlier, but she's still on a generator, doesn't have power back yet. I just got notification yesterday that at my house in Banner Elk, the first one we're going to, they're not expecting power. They had an adjuster out there for 6 to 8 weeks. So, that is a long time. That takes us, almost all the way to the first part of December. And I know that most people are thinking, oh my God, who cares? It's a rental property. I'm not talking about for me. Literally, I don't even know how many houses we have. We have probably like 80, 90 properties in our neighborhood. And I think I'm one of 2 or 3 that rent. Everybody else is full-time residents. And that's why we're going. That's why we have 3 chainsaws. We're going to take care of them. I know Chris, I think my next door neighbor has trees on their house that we got to cut down for them. Hopefully we'll be able to get inside and, if there's any water or moisture intrusion, I think I've got like 40 tubs of damp rid, if you're familiar with that. If you're affected by the hurricane and you can't get in to your property or you can't make it to there, whether you're in Asheville or the Smokies or wherever, you need to try to get somebody, a handyman, to get inside your property and load it up with damp rid. One of my Inner Circle members who lives in Charlotte ordered on Amazon and was able to have stuff delivered just outside of where their house is, and then they were able to truck that stuff in, and they brought plenty for everybody else. So I'm hoping that we don't have damage so we can just unload all of these supplies. We've got tarps, we've got roofing screws, we've got damp rid, we've got about 20 gallons of water, all this type of stuff, which is about all I can fit in the back of my truck. And then we got 3 men to be able to work on everything while we're here. house about 45 minutes ago. Chris kind of took you on a walk through. This is probably, I don't know, what do you think, James, a 75, 80 foot tree? So freaking lucky. I mean, it's literally 20 feet from the house. I could have taken out the master bedroom, the roof, part of the second floor, everything. Haven't looked at the guest house. Chris walked around. He said there's a tree on the guest house. I'll go look at that. But I can tell you that I've probably the hardest 2 hours I've ever worked in my life. We're on the deck at the guest house here at Elk Lodge. And Chris, if you can show them that. Thank you, Jesus. I mean, that's the worst thing that's happened. I mean, 2 acres, literally tornado. You saw all the stuff when we were driving in, the huge tree in front of the house. I don't know why. I don't know that I deserve it, but it looks like that's the worst thing that's happened. How old is you? I am 6'6". That's what, maybe 6 feet? I mean, if I go stand down in that hole, that one might even be taller. Yeah. I mean, that tree is probably 75 feet. This one's probably 50, 60 feet. You remember Bella Vista, and we were in Phoenix when Sally blew through Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, Fort Morgan. And Bella Vista had like $2,000 worth of gutter damage. That's gutter damage again. There's something about that guy watching over me, my wife, whatever it is. I'm not kidding. I mean, it's
look how close
unbelievable.
I mean, if that even would have been, what, 2 feet or 5 feet to the right, that would have taken the roof into the...
I don't think that's just wind shear that does that. That's got to be a freaking, neighbor said there was a couple tornadoes up here. That's got to be something to rip that out. I don't know.
I just can't believe it didn't. Look, if it would have been on the right side of that tree right there, that would have taken that whole side down. See, that's got to be from. That's got to be from wind, right?
That's got to be from wind. It broke the lift, the sides coming off. Welcome to the lodge. Literally, the only damage is downstairs in the basement. We had, looks like rainwater came in. This is the room I was actually most worried about. My infinity game table's good, just kidding. Windows, all good. We didn't have any window damage. Thank God this big ass tree didn't fall on the house. I don't know what to say. I feel even worse now for all of you that had major damage. They're displaced because honestly we've had almost nothing here. But now we're going to head to our neighbors right up the street. I think they have a tree on their house, and see if we can get that off and unblock the driveway so they can come back. So we've already got damper down here. This is really just a little bit of moisture down here. Well, he opened the first one. Hopefully the damper will suck some of the moisture out, and then once everything gets done, and we can get a carpet company in here or something, to clean them and whatever. And I didn't want Bria's amazing, mountainscape to get ruined. This is Clonteska. Wow. So that is Lees McRae University right across the street there. That's where they were airlifting the students out on Sunday, Monday with Blackhawks. I've lost a big tree right there. My biggest concern, and I don't know what's happened, is you can see this road, Chris, if you get a shot up here. I was worried about water rushing down this road and just coming straight down and intruding into the house to flood the house in the basement. That's my biggest concern. Outside of trees, it doesn't look like we have any tree damage. Might have got lucky again for the second time. I hear the hot tub going. We got power here. Clean as a whistle, we can get in the hot tub and enjoy the view. It's about 102 in there. After chopping trees for 4 hours, James? Yeah. Believe it or not, this is the first time I've been here since before we closed on this, the week before the SDR Wealth Conference. I haven't been here. There's some helicopters right there. Probably taking supplies up to Beach Mountain. Get some air in here. See if there's any water intrusion. I don't know if you can see, but the helicopter that's bringing supplies in had to sneak my way through state troopers to be able to get in downtown. I'm here at Clonteska. This is my property that's walkable to Banner Elk. Love this place, love coming here during the winter. It's the first time I've actually been here since we closed on it, but here's the deal, folks. I just got a message from one of my Inner Circle members in Asheville. My property, Elk Lodge, 6 to 8 weeks before we're gonna have power. I have power here, I have electricity, I have zero damage here, but I have no water and nobody's coming to the city. I literally have a guest that hasn't canceled that's checking in here on Friday. This is the importance of having reserves. You've got to have enough money to last 6 months. I think we'll be up and running here probably within 30 days. We're ready to go, not ready to go. They're saying we'll have water by the end of the week. That does not mean that we're gonna be able to operate. I have to have my guest cancel this Friday. I probably won't take a booking for, I would say, the entire month of October. My mortgage here is $4,700. That's not a big deal, but this is one of the reasons that you have to calculate your mortgage. You need to calculate your utilities. You need to calculate any operational cost to hold your property when we go through something like this. Literally, the member is in Asheville, and he's just outside of Asheville, and he believes that tourism is going to be ravaged there. He doesn't believe that he's going to have power and water for probably 8 to 10 weeks. That's a long time, but it's only 3 months. These are things that you need to underwrite into your pro forma. If you are not factoring in carry costs, Chris, can you get a shot of that? That's the plane that's literally flying in to drop off supplies, and then they're helicoptering everything in. I believe he's typically are flying straight to the Boone Airport. You've got to factor this in. There's going to be so many people that are going to be, especially up here in Florida. I hope to God they plan for hurricanes. That's part of the business down there. Completely unexpected here in Asheville, the Smokies, South Carolina, and North Carolina. If you do not have at least 6 months reserves, then you should not be investing into short-term rentals. If your mortgage is $4,500 and your utilities are $200 and you've got gas and you have whatever, I would budget at least an additional $1,000. It just cost me, Chris, I don't know, James, probably $2,000 in supplies that we brought here. Had to buy chainsaws, had to do all these things just to get access to the property this morning. I can't emphasize enough, this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make. And it doesn't take a hurricane or something like this. It literally can take a power outage. It can take, just your traffic, going dead. And that's really easy. A lot of you felt this that were in the Northeast or around small ski resorts last year. Look, we saw it in Blacktail, which is just south of Whitefish, Montana. We saw it in the Poconos. There was literally no snow. Minnesota, Wisconsin, no snow, because we literally had an El Nino year. Now we're going to have a La Nina year, and we should be able to make up for that. But if you were banking on that snow last winter and you were in one of those markets, you got ravaged. We've got to be prudent. It's not going to be rainbows and unicorns every fucking day that we're doing this. We're going through a tough time right now. Once again, we are blessed. I just got off the phone with my wife. We made it through Sally pretty much unscathed. We made it here pretty much unscathed, but we're still not going to be operational, even though, we should have water back here in downtown Banner Elk within a week. The attention is on the people that need, the help right now. That's why we brought supplies. That's why they're still flying stuff in. Even though your property is going to be ready to go, your market most likely is not. That's why when you're investing, you need to underwrite for your carry costs for 6 months, but you also need to be in a market with multiple traffic sources. I don't know, Chris, can you see the condo building? That's the top of Sugar Mountain right there. Right back behind us is Beach Mountain. This is its own traffic driver. That's Lees McRae University. That's one of the dorms right there. There are literally 3 major traffic drivers coming into this market. Then if you throw in the +1 traffic drivers of Boone and App State football and all those other things, there ends up being about 4.5 traffic drivers here. It's the only place in the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains that people can come and do side-by-siding and ATVing. That means if one of those goes down, if Sugar Mountain doesn't operate this year, there's still Beach. I know Sugar's gonna operate. Beach, I have no idea. But even if both of those are down, there's still the draw of the food and the arts and the culinary and everything here. You know, in downtown Banner Oak, there's multiple traffic drivers. Those are 2 things that you need to understand. If you don't have multiple traffic drivers, if you're relying on one, like at a lake or just the beach, and then you have a catastrophe, whether it's hurricane or whatever, you literally could be out of business for the foreseeable future. Be diligent in your underwriting. It's way more important than just focusing on cash flow and gross revenue. You need 6 months of carry costs. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. If I've created any value here, hit the subscribe button. I've got much more coming every couple of days.